After the success of Halloween and Friday the 13th, slashers were in full swing. By 1981, slashers were what seems to be coming out every weekend in the theater. Some of my favorite slashers came out in 1981, including but not limited to My Bloody Valentine, Madhouse, Happy Birthday to Me, The Burning, Graduation Day, The Fun House, Madman, The Prowler, and of course Halloween 2. Friday the 13th Part 2 came out May 1st, 1981, just under a year after the original. The ending of the first was so effective and had such a great jump scare, they decided to bring Jason into the sequel, even though he was dead in the first film. The whole reason Pamela killed in the first place. So okay, Jason never died and he could have seen his mother being beheaded by Alice, and Jason wants revenge on counselors. Jason became the face of the franchise. He is such a cool killer, and I'm glad they decided to bring him into the second film, even though I still love Pamela as the original killer. I love the opening of the film. It sets the mood well. We catch up with Alice and she is still trying to deal with the events of the first film. There is some good build-up and tension in the opening. Love the reveal of Pamela's head in the fridge and a cool kill. An ice pick to the temple. I like that you're not sure who actually killed Alice on first watch. Was it Jason's dad, Jason himself, or is Crazy Ralph Jason's dad?
You're all doomed.
Even though it's clear by the end of the movie, it definitely is Jason. My only complaint with the opening is that I would have loved to seen Alice more throughout the movie. I love the opening credits again, basically the same as the first movie. We get the returning Harry Manfredini's awesome score blaring over the names of the cast. It just works. The music really puts you in the mood for more Friday the 13th. Part 2 is essentially the exact same premise as 1, but I think the formula is perfected with a slightly better pace and throwing Jason into the mix. I actually like the characters more in Part 2. They're really likable, especially Jenny, played by Amy Still. I like her introduction to the film, showing up later than the others at the camp. Jenny is so darn cute and likable, more on her later. Since the premise is basically the same as the first, they did a continuation with the marketing. In the trailer, they're just counting kills again, starting with 14, and stating the body count continues. Now let's talk about Jason himself. I think the coveralls and clothes are okay, but I love Jason with the potato sack. Yes, he is not sporting the hockey mask. His look is eerily similar to the Phantom from The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Great pre-slasher you should check out. I really like the killer from that film. Was this a ripoff, homage, or did they not even see The Town That Dreaded Sundown? I find it hard to believe they did not see it. I love that you only see one eye going through the sack. It's actually scary and creepy. Also love that they slowly reveal the look of Jason throughout the movie. It adds to the mystery of him. Then you full on see him in the third act. Jason actually runs in this film. I like when he runs. I think people seem to forget he ran around in the early films. It makes it more realistic than him being a zombie later on, where he just walked and popped up in random places out of nowhere. It's Friday the 13th, so I have to tell you my favorite kills in part 2. It's actually back-to-back kills like part 1. Mark, who is the one in the wheelchair, is out on the front porch. There is some good build-up and some POV shots, and whack! He gets a machete to the face and the chair rolls down the stairs, then it fades out white. Cool kill, and I was really rooting for him to get laid by the very cute Vicky. Then almost right after, Jason walks into the cabin and grabs a spear. Jason makes his way upstairs. Sandra and Jeff are making love and they are on top of each other, and Jason sticks his spear through both of them in the bed. It's a really cool back-to-back kills, but this entire sequence is actually probably a direct ripoff to a sequence from the 1971 film A Bay of Blood, also known as Switch of the Death Nerve. If you watch these sequences back to back, they are so close it's insane.
They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but I find it somewhat distasteful to be given credit for work that's not mine, especially inferior work.
The awesome aspect they added in part 2 is the whole wheelchair thing and it rolling down the stairs, but in A Bay of Blood, after the spear goes through the bed, you actually see the aftermath of the couple dying and their reactions and more gore. The MPAA butchered this scene in Friday 13th Part 2. They actually shot more to the aftermath of the spear kill, and it's awesome footage. They have it on the Blu-ray for Part 2 in the extras and the Scream Factory box set. Seek that footage out. That would have made this kill even cooler. but the MPAA was starting to butcher these movies in the 80s, and they were already starting to get tired of slashers, and they were starting to cut them badly to get R ratings. Now let's talk about my favorite characters besides Jason. Crazy Ralph is one of my favorite characters in the entire series. I really like his kill with the wire strangling him behind the tree, but I would have loved to have Crazy Ralph in a few more movies. They tried to bring this type of character back for part 3 and Jason Takes Manhattan, but they just weren't as cool. Rest in peace, Crazy Ralph. I love you, man. Gone too soon.
You'll never come back again.
Oh, shut up, Ralph.
It's got a death curse.
Jenny is one of my favorite final girls of the series. She's cute and adorable, but she is also smart. She has one of the best moments of the series. She is being chased by Jason, and she finds Pamela's head. She heard the story of Jason, so she thinks fast and puts on Pamela's sweater, and she pretends to be Jason's mother. She distracts Jason for a short time. It ultimately doesn't do much, but I think it's a great and strong moment that makes Jenny stick out a little more than some of the other final girls in the series. Plus, I really like Amy Steele. She just seems like a cool person. Hearing her talk about the series. She's also great in the fun 1986 slasher April Fool's Day.
Jason, Mother is talking to you!
Now let's talk about the climax. This is one of my favorite climaxes of the franchise. So many great moments between Jenny and Jason. Fight scenes between Jason and Paul. Great chases. Jenny falling out of the window, running and hiding from Jason in the woods, then going back in the cabin hiding underneath the bed, and Jason finding her. Jenny finding Jason's homemade cabin. Jenny's great moment, then Paul showing up to save Jenny. I do think the ending is a little messy. It's definitely a dream sequence like the first movie. You know that for sure when the dead dog shows up with a bow on his head. Then Jason pops through the window and scares the crap out of the audience again. Amazing jump scare, and I love that we get the full look of Jason's face in this moment. They put Jenny in the ambulance and she's asking where Paul is. It's a confusing ending for sure, but I like to think Paul showed up to save Jenny and died fighting Jason, and the rest was a dream sequence. Friday 13th Part 2 is easily one of my favorite movies in the series. Perfected formula, likable characters, some cool kills, and the introduction of Jason Voorhees, as well as Jenny as our final girl. Even though I love the mood and atmosphere of the first film, Part 2 just makes for such a fun time. Friday the 13th Part 2 is a near perfect sequel. They took everything great about the original and just made it a little bit better. Now in Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D, Jason finally dons his hockey mask. I will see you guys for Friday the 13th Part 3.